Ladies and gentlemen, looks like we are live. Welcome back to another episode of the Mining Market Signal. My name is Seth. You're watching Mine Your Biz. I'm going to pull a Mr. Rogers neighborhood here, and I'm going to change my hat. Maybe not my shoes and my jacket, but we're going to start with that just to get things underway. If you're new to the channel, in this line of content, when we go over the markets, you're able to learn about the fundamental analysis of some of the projects that I've been tracking in some cases for years, and we create a paper tracker, paper trading portfolio together, and then check in on it to see how those projects are doing over time. So we're not just looking at like moon boy math or number go up or pumpamentals or whatever. We're actually trying to pay attention to projects that deserve that long-term attention, and then try to make a decision. Should we hold? Should we sell? Should we trade? Should we take profits? And of course, in answering those questions, I try not to give legal, financial, or business advice. No, I don't. What we do instead is we learn about these different projects, and we try to pay attention to what the market is doing. Without further ado, let me jump out of the way and show you the Fear and Greed Index. Fear and Greed Index currently has a score of 34. It's back down from 45. Even though we've technically been in fear for the last 2 days, we're kind of correcting closer to something that looks a little bit like neutrality. Guys, just know that if you are just tuning in, your comments will be on screen very soon. Be sure that you're on your best behavior, but do make sure that you tell me what's on your mind. Ask questions. If you see somebody else's question that you have an answer for, then go ahead and answer it, guys. That's community. And I really do think that the Mine Your Biz community and the GPU mining community is the best anywhere in cryptocurrency. So I definitely invite that. Love seeing your comments come in. If you're not subscribed, go ahead and make that button explode. That will let the algorithm know when you turn on all notifications that this is something that other people might benefit from as well. So let me jump back into the current Fear and Greed Index. Scrolling on down, we see that right now we had that really mild pop. Now that is very strongly correlated to price action. I think we're about to find out for sure. But generally speaking, when numbers go up, people's spirits rise too. So we'll take a closer look, guys. My backdrop right now is, I went with plain. I was kind of getting blinded by all of the multicolor LEDs that are RGB lights. And I mean, it's Christmas, guys. It's the week of Christmas. So I'm going to get plenty of multicolored lights this week. And I was kind of feeling like, you know, like I was on some kind of a weird trip or something. So turn those off for today. Hope you'll forgive me for that. We'll go back to RGB pretty soon. But guys, again, Fear and Greed Index, we've been crawling sideways in fear now for a month. We're well outside of neutrality, and we're totally in fear. That's just kind of how it is. The market is fearful, and I like to call this a counter indicator. When I see that the market is fearful, I make plans. Yes, I look for great projects that are launching. I look for IDOs. I look for gems. I look for anything that stands a snowball's chance in heck of returning profits when Bitcoin goes bullish again. But we're going to take a look at a chart. We're going to take a look at DeFi markets, and we're going to take a look at the sponsor of today's live stream. This is the first time I've done a sponsored live stream in a while, guys. We'll take a look at today's sponsor, Prime XBT. I'm kind of excited about this, guys. I don't normally talk about trading platforms, but this one caught my attention, and I said yes to it for a very special reason. Stay tuned and I'll tell you more about that. Okay, I don't want to like give too much away at first, but if you guys know me, I'm not a big fan of centralized platforms in general, but if we do have to use centralized platforms, there are some conditions that have to be met for me to feel comfortable talking about it. This meets those conditions. So I'm going to talk to you about it in a little bit. All right, guys, moving on to txstreet.com. This is going to take a little while to load up. So we are moving at the speed of the internet and of the networks. But right now on Ethereum, gotta love these little South Park looking dudes and dudettes all wearing Santa caps. But currently the median ETH transfer fee just for moving Ethereum on the main chain is currently about $8.93, so nearly $9 just to move ETH around the network. And when you look at the mempool count, it's always over 75,000. It's always backlogged on Ethereum. Why? Because people actually want to use it. So that's why it's got over 20 times the traffic of Bitcoin at any given time. Now, do I have anything against Bitcoin? Not at all. Bitcoin it's made its way into my logo because I absolutely believe in the mission and vision of what Satoshi built, of hard money, an extremely hard currency, and a bit of a bulwark against inflation. And I think it's going to become increasingly important over time as we see markets shift in traditional finance. But Bitcoin, it doesn't even come close to having the same number of transactions being pushed through at any given time versus Ethereum. Right now, the mempool count on Bitcoin is just under 800 transactions in total. And that's a lot for Bitcoin. That's going to take a while to sort through. There are a lot of people who are very clearly very interested in getting their transactions pushed through on Bitcoin. Current cost per VByte measured in Satoshis per VByte is 5.11 on Bitcoin. That means it's about 41 cents, give or take, to send Bitcoin around that network. And then again, on Ethereum, we talked about how much it costs to send ETH. It's gone up live while we're here. Median contract fee, so sending any other kind of ERC20 tokens or sending NFTs, about 50 bucks. Yuck. It's 50 bucks to send anything over on Ethereum. That said, those fees go to us, the GPU miners. So yay, mixed feelings, right? It's kind of painful from a user experience perspective, but also great from a proof of work mining reward perspective. Nick C is in the chat saying, yuck. Love it, guys. Make sure that you have your chats on screen. And you know what? Why don't I go ahead and try to ensure that your chat shows up on screen as well. There's a way for me to do that. Let me show you. You can't see what I'm doing live, but I'm going to go ahead and adjust so that this shows your chat live from today's live stream. There we go. Got that adjusted. Shows your chat live. Golden Wolf is in the chat saying, woohoo, finally some live time again with Seth. Thanks. I really appreciate that, guys. So it's been a crazy couple of days for me. Expect to see more Gem Hunter content coming out throughout the break. I do expect to go live again, possibly tomorrow morning. So pretty close back to back, but maybe on some other topics. If not, then we may do a Christmas Eve morning. So not later in the day. That time is absolutely reserved for the wife and kids, for my family. So just know, if anything else comes out, it's going to be kind of, pre-recorded, and it'll already be scheduled for that time. Christmas Day, of course, as well. Guys, it's crypto. What do you want me to say? Like, I'm not going to go live to talk about markets on Christmas morning about Bitcoin. Bitcoin's going to do what Bitcoin's going to do on Christmas Day, and we're just going to suck it up. We're just going to deal with it. Okay. So yeah, we're absolutely going to, just like make do. Okay. Day after Christmas, we'll probably talk again, but just letting you know, that's kind of the plan for right now. You guys, jumping back out of the way here. We got on TX Street. I love that it's operating again. I love that they refreshed the UI for the website. It looks so good. Jay Myers says, sorry, all caps. That's hilarious, man. Says, smash them likes. Yo, I appreciate that, and I agree. My name is Seth, and I approve this message. Smash them likes. Appreciate it. But jumping back in, guys, looks like right now the Ethereum fees are very good for us as miners. Not as good as they could be, but they are leading to some profitability. It's getting close to that time for me to create some kind of a video, end of year roundup, talking about which coin I officially think, in my opinion, is going to be the one that takes over from all the Ethereum hash rate once Ethereum goes to proof of stake. Not time yet, but you guys let me know. You want me to do that in a live stream? Should I prepare something kind of fancy? Put on my nice camera and good duds and do something that's a little bit more involved? You tell me in the comment section what kind of end of the year roundup you'd like me to do for GPU mining, including spreadsheets, analytics, data, forecasts, whatever. You let me know what kind of value add you'd like me to create for the channel. I want to give that to you as a Christmas and end of 2021 New Year's gift. So tell me how that would be most helpful for you. And let me see what I can do in the meantime with the last remaining days of 2021. All right, guys, jumping back out of the way. We got Gallo Salome in the chat as well. It says, I feel bullied when people write smash in the chat. Please stop. And puts in a little emoji. I can't even say it out loud because of how the algorithms work here. That, sir, is hilarious. I need a soundboard because seriously, I need air horns for you. but we'll get back to that another time. Current Bitcoin chart is showing us, let me jump out of the way here. Again, guys, this is not a technical analysis show. You can tell because I'm literally using the free version of TradingView with one chart and only a couple of indicators on it. So looks like we have broken out of that downward channel that we had defined with the chopsticks before, and we've maintained the breakout. It looks like even the MACD has finally flipped bullish. We had a convergence and crossover of the moving averages, and the histogram is showing bullish, a growing bullishness, though it is starting to pull back. You can see on the daily candle there, starting to pull back a little bit. So maybe this bit of like bullish relief here on the histogram, it might not be very long lived. But guys, that's about all I can say as far as technical trading indicators go. I'm not going to try to like read tea leaves for you here live. I just don't think it serves us very well. But that downward channel, we finally broke out. Who knows if maybe we just redefine a different performance channel. I'm going to go ahead and just take a little risk here and pull this down to here. I think that is kind of the knee of the curve at this point, and we're going to go ahead and redefine this just a little bit by setting these chopsticks up differently. Okay, so grab that, pull it down to here, top of this candle, bring it up to here. And I think we have a less aggressive descent, but we still are, I think, descending. And love that Galo Salome throws the chopsticks in the chat. I hate that YouTube censors it though. Almost every time. I don't know what's going on. What does YouTube have against chopsticks? Chopsticks are lovely. I had some ramen with my boys last night. We did a guys' night in. That's part of the reason I didn't get anything done yesterday. We're spending family time, and guys, it just feels great, right? Like these are precious moments. I even went late today because we were doing some cleanup, just me and the boys. There's no such thing as quality time. Real talk. Brothers, sisters, there's no such thing as quality time. There's just time. That's all you can do is spend it, right, when you have it. So, like, even just doing the chores and, damn, I'm about to get like misty-eyed. Even doing the chores and making the dinner with the kids last night was just awesome. We don't always get the time, you know? So when you have it, spend it. Dang, like, it doesn't cost anything, right, to just, like, make a meal with your kids. Dang, like, yeah. And this week, obviously, do something for somebody else, right? Like, while we're all chatting here, right? Like, spend a little bit of that time, right? Be a big spender with somebody else who's in kind of like that inner circle, right? And somebody who's a little bit out, right? A little bit out of the inner circle. Help them feel included. You don't know what somebody else is going through, right? So we can do that. We can be a light for somebody else, and it costs us nothing. Bro, it costs us nothing. Little bit of time, and that's it. And we don't know what that means to somebody else. So, but with the kids last night, we made some ramen, and jumping back to the original thread starter here, every one of my boys was like, you know what? I want to use chopsticks tonight, just voluntarily. I didn't like suggest it or whatever, and they weren't being weird about it, but just everybody was like, okay, cool. We're using chopsticks. So I don't know what YouTube's thing is. Chopsticks are excellent, and especially make your ramen taste better, because if you have really well seasoned wood chopsticks, it's better. It's just better. That's all there is. Paper, and I've been saying it wrong for like days, over a week. It's paper chasing, dude. Sometimes I'm so dense. I called him paper chasm, whatever. Paper chasing in the chat says the descending is the shaking of the trees. That's hilarious. Golden Wolf says, mind your biz, I like your background. Thank you. I appreciate that. I've got a couple lights that go with it. Give us a little bit of like, it's sort of a canvas to paint with light. And I just needed something that was a little bit, a little bit nicer. This is not super expensive or super fancy. It's just, I needed something a little bit more polished than before. So thank you for that. Jay Meyer says, let's close above the 21-day moving average and bounce. Yeah, bro. I would love that. Definitely would love that. For right now, we're just going to leave these chopsticks right here and just show that we have a less aggressive downward trend. I think that's what we can, like, for my eyes, see that pattern. Not going to get fancy, not going to try to define specific movements or tell you whether or not we're definitely heading towards some kind of formation that definitely signals bullishness or bearishness. But I do see right now that it looks like we're in a less aggressive descent. So hopefully, right? Hopefully what Jay just said, hopefully from Jay's lips to Bitcoin's ears, we see that bounce and we start going bullish again. That'd be amazing. Right now, though, the MACD is indicating that we are bullish right now, but we may be retracing, or we may be pulling back in that bullishness and moving back towards convergence on the towards the downside, towards bearishness. Gallo is saying Matic looking good this last couple of weeks. Heck yes, it is. Who's been talking about Matic since it was how cheap? Bro, look back at the channel. We've been talking about Matic since it was a few cents on this channel. So I don't know what to tell you guys. There are a lot of good projects, and it's hard to cover them all. That's why I'm okay with doing the Gem Hunter content and even being called mean names in the chat sometimes, right? It's like, we just have to get exposure to new things. We have to try to see things before they're built up into like a massive, huge movement. Now, as it is, you hear guys like Lark Davis on or Davies on Twitter and Crypto Lark here on YouTube talking about Matic maybe going to $10. If that happens, I feel bad for whoever's just getting in now, because that means you've only got a 400% potential gain on ahead of you. If you got in a little bit earlier, you'd be riding a much, much heavier gain. Prime is in the chat saying, yo, I like Solana. Hey, I appreciate that. I'm hearing some subs come in. Cool. He says, I like Solana, and some Goblin Loser, I don't know, drops a $2 super chat in to show us some bowls of ramen. I love that. You guys see that? That's beautiful. Thank you, some Goblin Loser. But Prime World is saying, I like Solana. Yeah, or like Solana. And he's right. Very much like Solana. Guys, Matic, to a lesser extent, Phantom. It just was not on my radar at all. Phantom, Avalanche. I'm kicking myself because a mutual friend of ours, Prime's and mine, was very bullish on Avalanche. Was trying to warn us and was really trying to get us in on like a 10 or a 20x for our entry position on Avalanche. And I don't know about Prime, but for me, I basically missed it. I just did. I fumbled so hard there, guys. It was so bad. So I'm trying to get more exposure to more gems, even if they're meme coins, even if they're jokes. I'm trying to get more exposure to more gems as early as possible, and that's why I'm okay with bringing them to you guys. We're still in the middle of like everyone's a genius season, and we are going to see more of these projects potentially do 10, 20, 50, even 100x. That can still happen for certain categories. Not for Bitcoin today, not for Ethereum today, not for even Matic, right? Or Solana today. We're not going to see 10x again on Solana this season. We're just not. If you didn't already lock in those great gains, sad clown face, you're not going to this season. That's just how it is. The Deadwood says, holding Block and Hero. Have you seen the ETH print? Nope, I haven't yet. Guys, let's just jump into some of our main content for the day, though. Leaving your chat up on screen because you guys are out of control, and I love it. But right here we got, that's our chart right now. I'm sticking to it. Looks like the MACD has told us what it can say to a knuckle dragger like me. That's all I understand today. We'll get better and better at this stuff as we go along. But I think that sentiment is definitely shifting. We see from the Crypto Fear and Greed Index, we've kind of popped back up to neutrality. And I think that we saw that recovery in the market as a big deciding factor as to why. Stabilization here in that Bitcoin price. We didn't drop down through 40K. Guys like BitBoy, right? So Ben Armstrong, who you guys, you just need to know. I respect the heck out of the guy. He gets, I think, a very, very unfair amount of criticism and hate in the space because people say, oh, he's a shill, he does all this other stuff. Whatever. Here's my experience of Ben Armstrong. Here's my experience of BitBoy and his 30+ person paid staff. Because when you watch his show, it's not just him. But here's my experience of that crew. They reach out to smaller creators. They listen to smaller creators. They have smaller creators on their show on a regular basis. They are open in debate. They allow people to have dissenting opinions. They'll talk to anybody about almost any topic publicly. And they're extremely generous with their time. When I saw them in Miami at the most recent trade show, they treated me like an old pal. I hardly know these guys. I've spent maybe grand total 6 hours around these guys between different shows that we've done together, a little bit of time spent in the green room, and they were super cool to me. So I just want to make that very, very clear, guys. I've got nothing but love for that team. They're extremely cool people. And if I had to choose people to work with in cryptocurrency on a project, like if I had to launch a project, I'd probably work with guys like them. I might literally call them because they're that easy to work with. So just want to make that very, very clear. But when you hear guys like Ben, BitBoy, talking about, oh no, 40K, after 40K, we're going to drop through the bottom and quickly deploy the parachute. I don't know if I agree with that, but also we didn't cross 40K. So anybody's targets like that or levels like that, they haven't been hit. You guys tell me in the comment section in the live chat right now, what do you think would be that point of no return for you? What is your level that is like the high sign to just try to cut your losses, right? Your stop loss in Bitcoin. What signals that Bitcoin's run is not safe to hodl any longer in this market? Love to get your feedback, guys. Jay says he's been nothing but polite the few times I've spoken with him. Hey, I appreciate that as well. Yeah, I love hearing support, guys, for the various creators. And here's the thing. I'm going to say largely similar things, even though there's beef between all these people, about Tyler from Chico Crypto and about Doug Polk and about all these other people. Like, if you haven't done anything cruel or mean to me, I'm going to be cool to you until, that situation changes. So, just mutual respect for as long as you can maintain it. It'd be awesome. Prime World jumps in and says, 38K, I would bail and sell it all. Gallo says, I don't like BitBoy's videos. He seems like a hardworking person, though, but his content is just too shilly for my taste. Hey, that's fair, right? Like, everyone's got their threshold, and I get that. I really, really do. Kyle Rosa, when I entered at 1600, rolling on the floor, dang. Bro, yeah, no, I get it. Hey, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. And my entry point into any Bitcoin that I've ever personally purchased, I've been comfortable with. I've been DCAing throughout this season as well, but I did shut that off at a certain point because I didn't want to throw good money after bad, right? If that makes sense. Any Bitcoin that I acquired earlier on, right? And I'm not going to name dates. I'm not going to name points, right? Or price points that I acquired it at, but you know what I mean. Prior to this bull run, any Bitcoin that I acquired at a healthy price, let it ride. Sure. Yeah. I mean, I think we passed that point of very likely having support after this bull run's over. So, but I appreciate that, guys. Yeah. Some people are just being very real, though. It is okay to have a stop loss. It is okay to have a plan, and it is okay to take profits before you get wrecked. I really do think that's okay across different categories. It's okay with Cardano. It's okay with XRP if you ever held any, right? It's okay to sell what you need to protect yourself. Like, you've got your own life to protect. And in some cases, you may have, dependents as well that you need to make sure have some kind of a future and you don't just like blow it all on speculative cryptos. So jumping back out of the way here, guys, that's our current chart. I'm going to leave the chopsticks exactly where they are. The other ranges right here, I'm going to just kind of scale them back to the last time we wicked up into them. So we kind of get a better visual on roughly when we left those ranges. But it looks like down there in the green, we are not in the green anymore either. I'm going to scale that way back. That's the last time we wicked down into that area. Lock it in again so that chart, which is public, and you can see a link to down in the description of this video, will reflect those changes. Integra Guy says, I might sell mine soon for tax loss harvesting. That's cool. Yeah. Guys, that's something that not a lot of people really talk about openly, is that tax loss harvesting, or just being able to work your tax game as a means of preserving, of locking, what's the word I'm looking for wealth preservation, right? So even though, yes, you're locking in whatever those, whether you want to frame it as gains or you want to frame it as the prevention of losses, you're locking it in fiat terms at that point, because Uncle Sam only understands fiat terms. You're going to have to translate it to that point. Like he's saying, you're going to have to sell in order to get there. But still, better than getting wrecked, right? It's better than having like the problem of that hot potato of a rapidly devaluating Bitcoin that you don't know what to do with post-tax season. So that's brilliant. Love that you bring that up. Some Goblin Loser says, smash that like button, you guys. You know I agree with that. And if you're lurking, hit the subscribe. We're so close to 14,000 subscribers, guys. And really, I want you to have more comrades in the chat. I want to be able to help more people. That's why we have this content. So definitely, I'm looking forward to us crossing 14K, 15K, 20K, 100,000 subscribers when the time is right. But slowly. I like this group. I like you guys. I love your face. So we won't grow too fast, but looking forward to it. Would look forward to talking to a big group. Paper Jason says this go round, we could see different time frames of bear and bull runs since the mainstream is creeping in. This could be a series of short-term bears flipping back and forth to bull runs. Yeah, I think you may be right. We may be entering into something that is a much different cycle than has ever been observed before in Bitcoin or in cryptocurrency in general, since it became a multi-asset sort of a multi-asset market, as opposed to just, Bitcoin and a couple of staple alts. So yeah, I think you're not wrong, right? We could see that play out. All right, guys, those are the ranges that we now have there. That's the chart that we've been paying attention to. Let's quickly take a look at our portfolios. GPU portfolio. We can take a look at some of our profitability as well, and the DeFi Llama chain TVL in just a second here. Guys, love that those likes are coming in. Thanks so much for being supportive there. But GPU mining portfolio is still showing Flux at the top of the list. Our profits are up over what they were before. And if you want to see more about this, guys, I do a little bit of evangelizing on some other people's channels. I think that it's tomorrow morning that Cryptos Chain had me on his channel, or he's going to be debuting our interview tomorrow morning. And so some of the numbers you're going to see here will be off for his interview. But we do champion GPU mining, and we do talk about crypto mining in general, proof of work mining in general. So if you're not subscribed to his channel, make sure that you check him out. I'll leave a link in the community tab when that goes live. But right now, Flux is still atop of the list. Safecoin not far behind it, Equilibria, and then Polygon. It's doing awesome. I wouldn't quite say that it's melting faces right now, but it is coming into its own. $2.63. That's great to see. In over 7 days, over 30 basis points of growth. That's amazing. Love seeing it. Some Goblin Loser is ready to see the 0x Bitcoin chart. I'm right there with you, man. We got to spend this time. All right, guys, moving down the list, our biggest loser for GPU mining is unfortunately BitTube and then Haven. Haven is still kind of recovering after its most recent major dip. And I still think that it's in kind of value purchase territory at being valued at under $5. It previously had its all-time high at over 28 US dollars. And I really don't see why it couldn't eventually make it back up to that point and then beyond. I think the market cap would support it. And I think that it could support well beyond that point, $50 or $100 Haven individually, each individual coin. We could see this. We could absolutely see this. Kyle Rose is in the chat saying, good interview on Debate Crypto, teaching others about mining. Hey, I appreciate that. Guys, whenever possible, when I'm invited onto other channels, I don't care what the size is. I'm not going to turn my nose up at other creators who are trying to do something, make something special for themselves and approach crypto in a different way. But yeah, I'm going to bring my unique spin, and we're going to talk about mining. We're going to advocate that everywhere we go. So thank you for watching that, and thank you for the compliment. I really appreciate that. All right, guys. Biggest loser, BitTube, though. It's barely over $1 million market cap, and the manipulation is very, very real. You can see it across the full 7 days. I feel bad, but yikes. Be very careful with that project. Haven, though, I think is getting. It's not getting. I don't think it's getting its due attention. I don't think it's getting its due love from the market. I really do think that Haven has way bigger potential than what we see here. But it's in the bottom of the stacked ranking. So we'll see. Hopefully it sees that recovery. Hard drive mineable coins, only one is in profit. That's Storage, and it's up just enough that you would have almost doubled your money if you had $1,000 in it. Chia is above the $100 mark, which is good for Chia. I hope it is sustainable because it has been struggling to maintain good positive price action. Even when other projects are going up, it has struggled to go up with them. CPU mining, top of the list, Raptorium, just like a champ, even 10% down over the last week. It's still ahead of Epic Cash. Epic Cash is doing all right as well. These two have been just the darlings of the CPU mining portfolio, while Nero is still our biggest loser at 13 cents and going down significant margin as well. ASIC mineable coins. We're going to go ahead and skip just to our mineable coins. Bitcoin is at the top of the leaderboard there. If you're just mining with ASICs, that's how you're going to get the highest profit or the highest long-term hold since the end of May. Not a big shock there. And Let's see. Biggest loser, unfortunately, still Pirate Chain. It's above $1 though. We had that value by at about 79 cents. Here we are at $1.27. So maybe if you believe in their mission and vision, maybe it's still a good time for you to buy. Does it have the potential to go up 4 times its current price, 10 times its current price? Yeah, maybe it does. Maybe it does. It might have that ahead of it. I don't know. I don't want to make any predictions, especially not price predictions for Pirate Chain. Pirate Chain has not seen as much exchange adoption as some of its counterparts or some of its competitors like Monero, but it does have a lot of strong support from the Dollar Vigilante and others who are strong privacy advocates. So we'll see. Maybe it does happen at some point in the future. All right, guys, moving from ASIC mineable coins over to FPGAs. FPGAs, we've got Cadena in the #1 spot at over $10 a coin. That $1,000 investment back in May would have returned over $16,000 in profit. 0x Bitcoin is doing okay. Really, the story here, like some Goblin Loser, I don't know, said in the chat, the real story here is that massive flip-flop back and forth, that swing trade opportunity within projects like 0x Bitcoin. If you know how to program a bot and you know how to time these swings, you may be able to return significant gains well above just hodling the native asset. So that's where the opportunity is with projects like 0x Bitcoin. Could there be others out there in the wild? I don't know, maybe. Maybe even some on lower fee networks, so you could do all of that on a non-centralized platform, non-centralized exchange, and walk away with profits at the end of every day, free and clear and permissionlessly. Maybe. But in the meantime, 0x Bitcoin, it just looks amazing. When you look at those swing trade opportunities, it's definitely there. Yeah, some Goblin Loser liquidity. It's there. It's there, guys. $20 million market cap. And let's take a look at the volume. Now that you mention it, take a look at the daily trading volume on 0x Bitcoin. You can see 24-hour trading volume. It's almost $1 million. Almost $1 million every single day. And so somebody is walking away with or divesting some of that. And there's no good reason that couldn't be you or me. So we can look for projects like that. And who knows, maybe if you're into swing trading, guys, I don't mean to get anybody into risky habits, but if you're into that sort of thing, or if that is, if that sounds appealing to you, find out more about it, guys. I don't want to discourage anybody from getting into staking, mining, high frequency trading like swing trading, or other kinds of even leverage trading at this point. I'm finally turning that corner where I'm realizing if you understand the risks, if you are willing to take on those risks, you have that risk appetite, and you're not going to get wrecked. I'm not going to discourage you from trying new things in cryptocurrencies. There are new millionaires being made every single year that I'm in crypto. And when I meet somebody who says like, oh yeah, I crossed my net worth crossed this threshold this year, I'm excited for them. And I meet more and more people like that in cryptocurrencies all the time. So anyway, Gallo says ETH is now mineable with FPGAs, right? Yes, that is accurate. There is a Bitstream and there is a mining software that allows for the, not the Jungle Cat, but the FK33, one of the mining FPGAs from SQRL, as well as the development boards that they are based on, allows them to mine Ethereum. The performance characteristics, I don't know. I'm short on details. I believe that Son of a Tech covered that when it was breaking the day of, so check out his channel for more in-depth details there. But let me jump back off the screen here and out of the way. 0x Bitcoin, yeah, doing just great pricing there, guys. Biggest loser on FPGA mining is Digibyte right now. We may be able to put Ethereum in this category for a while. I don't know how useful that's going to be as we sort of taper off towards proof of stake. Speaking of which, here's our proof of stake smart contract platforms. Let's check those out. And we've got Terra Luna in the top of the list, still returning pretty solid profits, guys. You see the last week, over 40% up. And if you put $1,000 into this side of the portfolio back in May, you'd have over 10 grand in profits, a 10x, very tidy 10x on Terra. But then with Avalanche, nearly 5x in profit, right? Not overall holdings, profit, almost exactly 5x on Avalanche. Solana, not doing bad, but in that same time frame, not returning as much profit. Phantom also doing great. Wax, a little less so, but consistent profits. This last week running into a little bit of difficulty with that sharp drop off and then recovery. Harmony, Moonriver, Cosmos, all noteworthy. Binance Coin kind of holding its own, but not really that much higher above the cost basis that we acquired this with our paper trade back in May. And then everything else is kind of downhill from there. That's weird. The Polygon, I made a mistake on one of these two entries, either the GPU side or this side. Polkadot looks like rebranded. That's new artwork for Polkadot. I missed something. I'll have to talk to Cryptos Chain about that, have him on here on the channel. Guys, do you want to hear more about Polkadot, like deep dive content on Polkadot? Because if you do, I will go learn from my friend Claudio, and I'll go talk to some of the community managers over on Polkadot, and I'll have them over to talk and do deep dive content on Polkadot. I can do the same for Cosmos as well. And frankly, for Polygon. I don't think we're quite at that level where I'm really comfortable interviewing developers yet, but I could talk to community members and we could get a more solid idea about these ecosystems if you want to see that. But let me know in the comment section. Nick says, would love a deep dive on DOT. Awesome. Okay, great to hear it. I will talk to Claudio about that, try to get something set up maybe before the new year, but it might not be until 2022, guys. Sorry. Beginning of the year in January. But biggest loser in this category, still internet computer. Guys, I can't imagine who in their right mind is taking this very seriously right now. Yes, the market cap is high. Yes, it's got things going on in terms of price action, but I can't think of a single person who I talk to on a regular basis who's in the development space who would seriously consider trying to build on internet computer or raise funds for a project that they intend to build on internet computer. I just don't understand how stuff like this keeps marching along the way it does. It's a bit like this bull market, this bull cycle's Tron, we'll say, or EOS. I don't fully understand it. I don't want to make fun of it, but I don't really understand it. All right, guys, moving from proof of stake smart contract over to Junk Drawer. Junk Drawer, we still got Saitama Inu out there. He out here punching faces, Saitama, and let's see how hard. Yep, over $1 million profit still. Boom. Straight to outer space. Floki Inu still over $100,000 profit. UFO Gaming still over $33,000 profit. Luffy over 15K. Dojilon Mars over 6K. It's just unreal, the gains over here in this sort of like meme coin slash joke coin space, guys. I don't even know how this happened. How did we get here? Seriously, how did we get here? We've got hundreds of millions of dollars of volume, or rather of market cap in these projects. Take a look at this. UFO Gaming, $600 million, right? Luffy, over $50 million. And Dojilon Mars, over $700 million, guys. We got well over $1 billion here between these three. And then Sio Network, Floki Inu, Saitama Inu, we got maybe between those yet another $1 billion. Shiba Inu, $19 billion on its own. Guys, there's so much crazy money in this space. Just nuts. All right, so going to the bottom of the list, we got Bone coming between Dragon's Quick and QuickSwap. QuickSwap, though, making quite a bit of a recovery, very, very strong right now. Same with Dragon's Quick. They are correlated, just so you know, guys, and I do very frequently talk to this team. If you watch their tutorials on their YouTube channel, the voiceover will sound familiar. The person conducting the tutorials will sound familiar. Yes, I do some work for them, but that's part of the reason that I don't do a whole lot on this channel right now. That said, I'm very close to the development team on QuickSwap. Would you like me to do deep dive content on QuickSwap and Polygon, doing really intense LP and trades on Polygon with low fees? I can do that too. Let me know in the comments. I don't want to do have a weird unfair advantage there, and that's why I haven't done that content yet. I don't want you guys to think that I'm pressing some weird unfair advantage, or like I'm being manipulative or deceptive in some way. But if you want to see that, let me know and I can line that up. But won't do it unless you guys tell me that you want to see that, though. That's kind of my jam, right? Not that I'm going to be like, hey, let me give you this little consent form. Oh, can I hold your hand? Here, sign here. We won't get too weird about it, but you know what I'm talking about. I want you guys to feel comfortable with the direction I bring that content. All right, so moving up, Kishu Inu is still kind of low on the list. A lot of the other meme coins that we thought would be like home runs, they didn't quite make it, as well as some of the trading platform utility tokens, right, or governance tokens. They're just not quite there. right? Ample fourth is the beginning of the gains there. Everything else kind of moving upward. Hex looks like it's back in really positive territory for those hexicans who are tuned in. 25% up over the last week. I think it's because there are a lot of people who are excited about some of the related services that are launching on Pulse Chain. Speaking of content that we could talk about, I've been on the Discourse Syndicate with Richard Hart in the past and have been invited onto their channel a couple of times just to talk about general EVM chains, DeFi, and all kinds of stuff, not just Pulse Chain or Hex. I like, I'm not a maximalist. And so even with Hex, like people who are like total Hex maximalists or like Pulse Chain maximalists, I'm just going to talk about general principles and about the general market. So they've been really cool about kind of being accepting of me. If you want me to do deeper dive content on Pulse Chain, though, because mainnet is imminent, right? It's happening soon. Some are actually pretty closely dovetailed to Ethereum going proof of stake. If you guys want me to talk about that, I can as well. We can line that up for the new year. Probably not before then, but just asking. All right, guys. Moving up the list, that's pretty much it for our portfolios. Taking a look at DeFi Llama. What do we got here? BSC currently about the same as it's ever been. Terra Luna in the number 2 spot, but still only 13 protocols, guys. UST is a big deal, and I appreciate that, but I'd love to see more synthetic stablecoins like UST that the Terra Luna has on other networks. If we had something that was similar to that had appropriate tokenomics for either minting and burning or the creation of synthetic stablecoins on Polygon, man, I would love it. I would absolutely love it. Oh, some Goblin Loser, I don't know, is saying that DCA Adventure is going live. Crap, I forgot about that, going live at night. I have to stream a little bit later, though, so I'm going to do that. Let me see, though, if I can, because I think that there is a raid feature on YouTube Live, so let me go ahead and I'm going to try to adjust that here, guys, see if we can get a full raid over to DCA Adventure. Maybe. We'll see. All right. Appreciate that tuning in, though, guys. Appreciate you being here. All right. With our current DeFi Llama stacked ranking for all the DeFi protocols. You got BSC in the number 3 space, Avalanche, Solana, Tron, and then Polygon in number 7. You guys, I'm going to keep coming back basically to this main point. Tron is interesting, but I didn't think it was that interesting. It's got a lot of value locked on it, but only 6 protocols. One of them is Tether, and that's a big deal. I see a lot of people talking about Tether on Tron. I didn't expect that. But when we flip over into protocol support, here is Polygon again adding more protocols so fast that we're here at 140 protocols on Polygon. I almost can't keep up, guys. 140 protocols, and it keeps on growing. More and more support. Avalanche, though, no slouch. 106 right now. They're adding protocol support very fast. Phantom as well. I think there's a strong possibility that what we're seeing is several multi-chain protocols that are adding these top performers simultaneously. So you're getting multi-chain support from some of these assets and protocols where they're just saying well, there's Polygon, Avalanche, Phantom, and maybe Arbitrum, and maybe to a lesser extent BSC, but the less centralized versions of these EVM sort of side chain scaling solutions for Ethereum, where they're seeing Polygon, Avalanche, and Phantom and saying, well, if we add support for all 3 at the same time and bridging to all 3, then we know we have a smart contract that governs our token supply on all 3, then, it's out of the way. So on whatever our next upgrade is, we'll add support for more than 1. I think that's what we're seeing right now, and I think we're seeing a handful of projects do that. So maybe if you have some insight, let me know in the comment section. Yeah, Paper Jason says Tron is a waste of time now. So much wasted time on Tron. Hey, I apologize, man. I don't know what to tell anybody about that. I've had various partners and stuff who just whatever, they had stables there, so we're like, hey, I want to pay you on Tron. I go, oh, okay, what do I do with it? And it just basically went straight over to KuCoin, so I could exchange it for something else. But yeah, I don't get it. Again, I don't want to talk badly about it. Gallo asks what about Harmony? Great question. Harmony is another one that's probably very important to look at. The partnerships are growing, and the TVL right now, again, guys, it's not the most important thing. The TVL is very low, but the partnerships are growing very fast also. So great call out there. Some goblin loser I don't know is asking for a countdown. Now I'm not gonna do that. I apologize, some goblin loser. I can't do that right now. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna try to do a raid when the time is right for this live stream. So he says, let's see. Gallo says DFK is awesome. Hey, what am I missing here? DFK. I'm missing something. Gallo, go ahead and let me know. Let me know what it is I'm missing. Please try to spell it out for me. I'm being a little bit dense right now. But guys, taking a look at the full the full breakdown here on DeFi Llama, I still appreciate that Polygon has more protocol support, and I think that TVL is going to continue to grow. And I don't think it's the most important thing, right? You can have one protocol that whatever they decide to print a bunch of Tether on it or something, and yeah, so they decide to print a bunch of Tether onto it, and then all of a sudden you've got an extra $1 billion of TVL. Like that would be something along the lines of what happened with Omni Layer Protocol on Bitcoin. It was about $1.5 billion of Tether that was printed onto Bitcoin. Nobody uses it, but it's $1.5 billion of TVL. So these partnerships matter more, and the usage on those partnerships, it just matters more. TVL is not the most important thing. But moving on from DeFi Llama, guys, let's go back over to whattomine.com. Let's take a quick look at our profitability. Current top of the list is the RTX 3090, but the RTX 3090 is not returning the same profits that it did before. We're now below $7 per day. It's or below $6 per day. I apologize. In daily profit, it's not quite as good as it was before. Not quite as healthy as it was before. Is it falling through the floor? Nah, there's going to be a support line for a lot of these GPUs to mine as well. But it's not what it was even just a few weeks ago. Radeon 7 just below $5. And bottom of the list, what do we got here? The R9 380. Are we almost there yet? No, we're not quite there yet, but we're almost out of the range of profit, right? So I just don't see it being as profitable as it was before. If you happen to be mining on an R9 380, could you still be mining profitably? Yes, you could, but not on 14-cent power. And if you're on 10-cent or below power, it's probably about time for you to consider relocating those R9 380s if you have them. And I don't know if anybody in this audience would, but if you have them, time to consider relocating them to a different market, possibly even as exotic as like Central or South America, or some place in Canada or elsewhere that has not only a direct subsidy, but maybe even an agreement for either next to free or free power. There are some places throughout the world that get some crazy subsidies like this, and I know it sounds absolutely insane, but there are some places like this. Or if you are looking for some way to possibly try to get like a fleet of these things sent over to like a natural gas flaring operation or some place where you know you can recapture energy that is basically totally lost, then it's probably time to start looking at this side of the fleet, the less efficient side of your fleet, and just make those plans now. Don't wait until the profit floor completely falls out. We're nearly there with a couple of those cards. Nearly there with that card, and also the GTX 1050 Ti. Profit is just not good enough. It's just not good enough to keep it on regular sort of like retail or even commercial power. I think you've really got to make some tough choices there, but they're going to rhyme with like moving your cards. All right, so moving on from there. Andrew says, let's just make a deal with some industrial space. That is a strategy that works, but even industrial spaces in many states only get between, when you look at delivered power at the end of the month and all the surcharges, sometimes you're still looking at about 6 to 7 cent power. It's not always as good as the utility claims. And when you talk to some industrial spaces, they don't always read the full power schedules the way they should. Sometimes they look at their promised cost per kilowatt hour and they take it at face value, where it's like, we got 3.5 cent per kilowatt hour power here. You look at their billing statement at the end of the month, and no, they don't get it for 3.5 cents. So just be aware of that, guys. It's time to look at that for some equipment profiles. And then, like Andrew's saying, it's great advice. It really is a great strategy. Look for some way to decrease your costs and try to keep it close to home if you can. But if you can't, consider looking outside of your immediate vicinity, your city, right? Cross the train tracks, cross the border if you have to, or get your equipment out of the country if you must, right? But just make that plan now, guys. Do whatever you can to make sure that you don't dip into a complete loss of profitability before that decision is made, right? Like don't behave reactively. But yeah, the 1050 Ti, the 3080 4 gig, to a lesser extent, the Polaris edition cards, they're starting to show, kind of signs of sickness there. Let's take a look at the 8 gig Polaris cards though. Yeah, at only about $1.40. I know that sounds like, hey, that's pretty good profit, especially for those old cards. Yeah, but they are not very fault tolerant at that price. If they dip pretty heavily after a certain point, these are old cards. They kind of weren't supposed to be back in the profit or back in the money mining. So if profits dip like really sharply when Ethereum goes off of proof of work, then you could be in trouble with some of those card profiles. I think that's what I want to do a deeper dive on, maybe before New Year's, guys. So I'm still kind of like mulling over what exactly I want to create as that like big video where we talk about that in depth, or create a spreadsheet, something that helps people make the best possible decision they can make with where their GPUs go. All right, guys, your chats are on screen. Do be on your best behavior. Paper Chasen says Tron blew up because the devs built on it, but the price was always suppressed. Even when the rest of the market boomed, Tron crawled. Why hold Tron when DeFi is changing lives? Hey, great question. And then Gallo educates me and says DeFi Kingdoms on Harmony 1. Okay, got it. That's what DFK is. Thank you for that. I appreciate it. I actually didn't know what you were talking about. That was very, very helpful. So thanks for educating me on that. All right, guys, those are our GPU mining profits. Let's take a quick look at something that I don't often talk to you about, and that is leverage trading. Huge disclaimer. I literally have to red screen you twice. All right. This is not me saying, hey, you should go out and do leverage trading. You should definitely trade on margin. No, I'm not saying that. But I am going to say that the sponsor of tonight's live stream episode is Prime XBT, and I'm really excited to take a closer look at them, because when it does come to leverage trading, there are some people who are comfortable with that level of risk. I'm going to be very, very straightforward with you. I'm not there yet, but I've been curious about it for a while, and I would like to start learning enough about it that I could do some leverage trades when I'm up a bit on one side of my portfolio. Because it's cool to think that with leverage, you can take a little bit of trading money and turn it into a lot faster. It's a cool idea. Now, is it for everyone? I know it's not. You know it's not. And you'll know whether or not it's for you, right? So do be responsible and make, own your own decisions. I'm not telling you that you have to go to leverage trading, not by a long shot. But let me jump out of the way here and show you this is primexpt.com. Okay, so they've got copy trading modules, and I'm actually logged in to an account here on Prime XBT right now. How did I log in? If you guys have been following the channel for a while, you know I'm not a huge fan of KYC. Well, Prime XBT does not require KYC for signing up. It may have some KYC requirements upon withdrawal at certain limits, but for signing up and for trading, for copy trading and for trying things out, you do not need to upload personally identifying information. That said, you're not supposed to use it if you're a US citizen. Okay, this is a test account that I'm showing you right now. There are no funds in this, and this is not me saying that I intend to trade here. I would like to learn how to do leverage trading, but it's not me saying that I'm going to use it. So that was a lot of disclaimers, wasn't it? But I am trying to be real about it though, guys. So leverage trading is something that you have to fully understand the risks of and have to be very comfortable with a high risk appetite. So it's not for everyone. Just going to keep reiterating that. It's not for everyone. And you'll know if it's not for you right away. But they've got a copy trading module. They said the co-vesting copy trading module is an innovative feature that lets you automatically copy trades of the leading traders on the platform and gain from their experience. What's more, they've got kind of like a little copy trading marketplace where they show you the community score of a given trader. So they may have out of 5 stars, they may have only 2.5 stars. I don't know how badly you're going to want to copy trade somebody that has 2.5 stars. I think your reputation would be very important in that space, right? If you could figure out whether or not other people think this person's trades are worth following, then you'll save yourself some time and headache, and you won't have the same level of risk if that person has built up a strong reputation as making good trades. So moving back over, they say, this quick tutorial will introduce you to the main features and functionality of this tool. All right, let's take a look at this. It says choose one or several traders from the leaderboard and automatically copy their trading activity. The co-vesting copy trading module allows you to achieve the same returns as the best performing traders on the platform. Your capital is at risk. Statistical information and historical performance are not guarantee of future performance. Never invest more than you can afford to lose. Yeah, that's good advice. Moving on, they say with the co-vesting module, every trader can start their own strategy and earn secondary income by receiving success fees from their followers. So if you're a hotshot trader and people figure that out, well, on Prime XBT, you can earn fees from them succeeding. It's kind of cool. Gallo is awesome, guys. Merry Christmas, Gallo. Thanks for being tuned in, guys. I appreciate anybody that's able to spend some time with us, and I understand if you guys have to cut out early. Merry Christmas. I'm so looking forward to this being a beautiful, prosperous new year for everybody in the community. So thanks for spending time with us, guys. All right. But apparently you can earn fees from being a badass trader. So if that's your thing and people actually follow your trades and they copy your trades, then you get additional fees. They're lighter fees, but you get something from that. And the more successful you are, it just compounds your success. So whether you're a strategy manager or a follower, you're always in full control, diversify with over 80 plus assets, manage the risk and increase or withdraw your investments at any time. And they've got some videos on how to do this. Now, I might cover some of these in the near future, maybe not. But the point is, we've got right here, these are the ratings, and these are all of the copy traders, right? So there's to the moon. Kind of funny. You see kind of roughly their total and today what their gains have been on the platform so far, how long they've been active, how many followers they have, what their performance has been like, their current equity listed in US dollars or Tether specifically. So you see exactly what they're trading with, and then their rating. We'll go ahead and sort, we'll sort by way of rating and then take a look at what that is against their current equity right now. Looks like Bitcosaurus app currently has one of the highest scores, right, at 4 stars. And then FRK Technique also has 4 stars here. And you can see they both have their portfolio or their equity measured in Bitcoin, but Bitcosaurus app has 24.7 Bitcoin on the platform. So roughly a little over $1.2 million USD. Been active for over a year, has over 1,500 traders, and the performance looks pretty darn good, right? Hit a knee of the curve early on in their trading career, had some volatility with their performance, and then has stayed pretty consistent at making gains over time. I mean, me being kind of a boring person, I see that, and my first thought is, like in some ways, kind of a boring person, I see that and I think consistent gains, when I look at trading specifically, if I were looking at trading and not investing per se, investing, I'd love to see a hockey stick, right? At some point, like boom, whoa, we hit a 10x, right? Like people discovered this new crypto. Or they discovered this new platform or whatever it is. And I'd love to see a 10 to 20x, like at some point during the time that I hold it, right? That'd be cool. But when it comes to trading and getting consistent returns, I would much rather know that I have some kind of a strategy that is reproducible in its positive upside. Like I'm not a trader right now, but I think if I did want to become a professional trader, like I'd want it to kind of look like that, look almost like a job where it's like, okay, this week or this month, I can probably rely on getting ahead by about this much, whatever, if it's a percentage point or if it's a dollar target or whatever. That's what I think I'd want to see. And what I'm seeing here on Prime XBT is that some of the copy trading for the co-vesting community, there are some traders that have that methodology and they've got a longer track record. And so copy trading somebody like that with a small portfolio, I almost feel comfortable with something like that. Maybe not. But if I could learn from somebody like that, bare minimum, learn from somebody who says like, all right, I manage my risk. I take profits at specific intervals, and I try to build this way, right? I use only so much leverage, if I use leverage at all, and I do my trades in such and such a fashion so that I return consistent profits, and I stay ahead of inflation, and I stay ahead of my costs, and I return enough profit that I can do this as a job, right? Instead of working for a living, so to speak, I can do this for a job. So I'd love to learn from somebody like that. I don't know about you guys, but with GPU mining and with being involved in cryptocurrencies, if I could eventually, or like retire to that space of being an investor and a trader, that'd be pretty cool. Be like, being a real estate investor too at a certain point. It seems like all roads lead to passive income if you're smart, right? And you want to live in retirement as somebody who's not like breaking his back to get your daily bread every single day. So just saying, I love seeing that, right? People who are able to give some kind of consistent returns. FRK Technique, this person who's number 2 on their leaderboard, also has 4 stars, but apparently, smaller portfolio, 6 figures in US dollar value, 3.2 Bitcoin overall. So slightly smaller portfolio, but may have been just because of a recent pop upwards, right? So as far as their performance with their portfolio, a little bit of a dry spell and then boom, kind of shot up recently. I don't know if I like that, but I could definitely take a closer look at their account and their performance and see how they've done over time. I like that that's all available to be able to see it in that way. Now we can also sort by followers, see whatever, just a ranking to see like why people are following certain accounts. And that brings up a different account, right? So Natilos, that we didn't even see before, but apparently looks like their performance just fell off a cliff. Could be that they just withdrew a bunch of profits, or they got wrecked. I don't know, right? Like I'd have to look more. If I did get interested in copy trading, I'd want to do a lot more research on these people. But they've got, margin trading, they've got leverage all the way up to 100x. So Prime XBT, I'm interested in it because it's not just crypto. Yes, it's a small number of cryptocurrencies, but it's also Forex and it's some commodities as well. So kind of interesting to have a platform where, if you're just learning how to like trade professionally and not so much be interested in the investment of fundamentals on speculative coins, like we talk about a lot on this channel, but if it's more about specifically about trading as like a business, then yeah, I'd want to know there are different assets for me to trade consistently too, because there could be more consistent profits to be earned from some of these other categories when maybe Bitcoin or Ethereum are, less interesting for a short period of time. So being able to flip the portfolio into something else is interesting to me as well. Anyway, guys, you tell me in the comments section, are you interested in learning more about this? Do you want to see more of a breakdown? I've got a couple of pieces of comparative info, and they recently, actually not that recently, but they launched their mobile applications for you to monitor your portfolio from within Prime XBT. But it compares to some of the other leverage trading platforms very favorably, and specifically in the KYC aspect. You guys know on this channel, I'm a big fan of privacy, and I'm a big fan of what I call common sense KYC. I don't like that there are platforms out there that have a more restrictive withdrawal amount than, say, the travel rule. That's crazy to me. Like, if you can fly with a briefcase full of cash and more cash than you're allowed to take off of an exchange, what's that all about? Why do they have policies like that? Like, you can travel with that much cash. Why can't you withdraw that much crypto from an exchange without giving them your, all of your ID? If you can travel with that much cash without ID, right? No questions asked, no problems. Why can't you withdraw that much from an exchange? Well, on Prime XBT, it is non-KYC. You can start your account. You can get started without having to dox yourself to them. And you can learn about trading. And you can even copy trade other people without KYC. So again, US citizens need to apply. That is the big caveat. And so I think I like the concept of Prime XBT. You guys may see me do like some with the test account, may see me mirror some copy trades or try to figure out how to get involved in this. But again, one last disclaimer for you. I am not telling you that you have to go do leverage trading. I'm not telling you to go do 100x leverage against, you know, whatever asset over on Prime XBT. Do your own research. Make sure that that's the kind of risk that you're willing to take before you get involved in any kind of trading at all. So, guys, that is what I had for you tonight. I definitely wanted to show you a bit more about Prime XBT, especially some of those features. I like also there are a couple of things that they have built in, and especially, you know, when you are on an exchange like Prime XBT, you get the full cadre of trading view tools. So you're not just locked into like one or a couple of different tools. If you want to do different overlays, if you want different indicators, you can add basically as many as you want. It's like having TradingView Pro, but it's built in here. So if you're learning more about technical analysis, having an account on a platform like this, even if you don't intend to actually do copy trading or do any other kind of like leverage trading, if all you wanted to do was use the enhanced technical analysis tools, it might be worth it just for that. Guys, I've got a link down in the description of this video. It is an affiliate link, and Prime XBT asked me to use that so that they could see whether or not me doing this live stream would help them bring on new people. If you're interested, it's, you know, no pressure, guys. But if you're interested, and if you live in a country where you might want to check it out, do me a solid, click those links and check it out, right? You don't have to fund the account. You don't have to trade. And you certainly don't have to use leverage if you're not comfortable with those things. But it would do me a huge favor if you did at least click those links and try it out. Take a look at the copy trading modules, to the co-vesting module, they call it. Take a look at the different tools, and heck, just set up some charts. It's free. Setting it up is free, and it's non-KYC. So you have no commitments there at all. You can just use the full professional trading view feature set totally for free. So that'd be a huge favor for me, and it gives you something too without KYC. So rock on, guys, for the sort of the privacy life there. All right, guys, there's a bit about the Prime XBT. Wanted to cover that more in depth. Is there anything I should be adding to our simple portfolio over on CoinGecko? Tell me down in the comment section, guys. Tell me down in the comment section. That would definitely be helpful for me to know what new projects you think I should add. It's Pocket Change, wife of a miner. She says, have a good night, everyone. Appreciate you stopping by, Pocket Change. Definitely always a pleasure to see other creators in the space. Guys, appreciate you watching all the way to the end of the video. That's going to be it for tonight. Let me know again what you want me to add to the portfolios and whether or not you want me to start doing that deeper dive content on both Polygon, Cosmos, and Polkadot, because we do have resources to talk to without doing, you know, shill type content where the developers get to just talk for free right now, but other experts who are sort of peer content creators. Getting some positive feedback on Polygon, so I'd love to do that. But let me know what else you'd like to see. Tell me in the chat, guys. Chat, as usual, is out of control. Appreciate it. I'm here for it. Remember, guys, you're the reason I make this media. I love your face. Remember to stay private and mind your biz. Thanks for watching to the end of the video. Be sure to check out mineyour.biz, where you can sign up for our email newsletter, where we're still ramping up content, but you will occasionally receive specials for flash sales and all kinds of other deals that we have going on the site. You can also check out our services page, where we offer consulting to projects that need it. You can pick up the Freedom Phone, which respects your privacy. You can pay for it in crypto and have it shipped to you anonymously, as well as getting merchandise that also is paid for with crypto. That's right, we practice what we preach, including, well, a Flux swag page. That's right. It's a dedicated page just for the team over at Flux Network, because we love them that much. Thanks for watching to the end. Thanks for being subscribed. You know I love your face. Be sure to stay private and mind your biz.